During the Russian air attack on Ukraine on January the 20th, one nuclear-capable Tsiakon hypersonic missile, 18 ballistic missiles, 15 cruise missiles, and 339 drones were flying. Repulsing this attack cost Ukraine 80 million euros. But one missile that did penetrate caught Ukraine by surprise. Russia launched an RM-48U training missile for the first time. These missiles were decommissioned but have been reintroduced as offensive weapons, according to the Telegraph. Ukraine has no choice but to counter the revived zombie missiles using expensive defensive technology, which is likely a new Russian tactic to drain Ukraine of its resources, the publication wrote. The RM-48U, used as a target for training firing from the S-300 and S-400 anti-aircraft missile systems, is a modification of the conventional 5V55 or 48N6 missiles whose service life has ended. They are easily adapted and add weight to Russian bombing campaigns. The 5V55 and 48N6 missiles can carry a payload of 133 to 180 kilograms. It is unclear whether the missile that penetrated the Ukrainian air defense system carried a warhead or was used as a decoy. The RM-48U supersonic target missiles are based on the decommissioned or retired anti-aircraft guided missiles. They utilize all the old equipment sitting in storage, an unnamed military expert told Russian media. Now, surface-to-surface missiles are being produced using them by adding a warhead. This could be a warhead from the standard VF-55 and 48N6DM missiles, or a modernized high-explosive fragmentation version, said a Russian military expert. The publication noted that since these missiles were developed for completely different purposes, they likely lack accuracy. However, they increase the volume of Russian strikes on Ukrainian cities, forcing Kiev to expend scarce and expensive resources on defense. Russia has long used interceptor missiles, which are anti-aircraft missiles designed to intercept incoming aircraft or missiles as an offensive weapon, said Mauro Gilli, a professor of military strategy and technology at the Hertie School. If you fire it on a parabolic trajectory, it will cause some damage on impact, even though the missiles are not used for their intended purpose, he added. However, Gilli cautioned against viewing the use of the RM-48U as a sign of Russia's shortage of missiles. He noted that it indicates that Russia is using everything at its disposal to strike Ukraine. These missiles no longer have any use because they are decommissioned, so the cost of using them is very low. Gilli added, the main purpose of using these missiles is to increase their mass, which means that the Ukrainian air defense system will not be able to intercept everything.
The Trump administration is now targeting its mass deportation campaign on Maine, a state with relatively few residents in the United States illegally but a notable presence of African refugees in its largest cities. According to Associated Press, the Department of Homeland Security named the Operation Catch of the Day, an apparent play on Maine's seafood industry, just as it has done for other enforcement surges, like Metro Surge in Minnesota and Midway Blitz in Chicago. Reports of a surge in immigration arrests have struck fear in immigrant communities of Portland and Lewiston and prompted backlash from Governor Janet Mills and other Democrats, including a refusal to help ICE agents obscure the identity of their vehicles by issuing undercover license plates. Citizens have formed networks to alert neighborhoods to the presence of ICE agents and bring food to immigrants in their homes. Portland's superintendent said the school district is developing an online learning plan for its students, more than half of whom aren't white. Many businesses have posted signs saying ICE agents aren't welcome. Portland and Lewiston have thousands of residents of African descent. Somali immigration accelerated in the early 2000s, leaving Maine with one of the nation's highest Somali populations. Now the presence of immigration and customs enforcement agents is causing great anxiety in Portland, said City Council member Pius Ali, a native of Ghana. ICE agents don't need to spread trauma by smashing doors and windows, he said. Another Portland City Councilor said the enforcement activity has prompted residents to avoid leaving their homes, even for basic needs, and spurred informal networks to track the presence of immigration agents. Councilor Wes Pelletier said business owners, teachers, and college students have shared information to alert neighborhoods to enforcement activity, while volunteers have delivered groceries and diapers to families too afraid to go outside.
I want to be really clear. This is a war of terror that's being waged on our city by the federal government. We've seen people of all ages getting thrown on the ground and getting thrown into trucks. And in response, people, Portland business owners, teachers, college kids have formed a network to make sure that we have early warnings and that we are able to get there in time to, at the very least, get a name before someone disappears.
I want to respond to the fact that our communities feel anxious and fearful. They see this action as unpredictable and a threat to their families. While we respect the law, we challenge the need for a paramilitary approach to the enforcement of federal statutes.
People are afraid, they are scared. People's anxiety have gone up because they don't know what to expect. Imagine you are a parent and you step out to put your kid in a school bus. By the time you turn around, you are surrounded by ICE agents, and they are ready to take you with them. Who is going to take your child when they come back from school?
My biggest fear is that innocent people will suffer. And I think it's part of a broader problem of our democracy eroding in our country.